Welcome to Travel Smart, the insider's travel guide from independent TV. This is the series where we share our take on the best destinations to visit, as well as the most sustainable ways to explore the world. In this episode of Travel Smart, we're taking a closer look at the Antalya region of Turkey, a wonderful area full of history and discovery. You join me at the rather wonderfully named Land of Legends. It's a theme park, it's a gigantic hotel, and it's a shopping mall on an astonishing scale.
But then that can be said for a lot of sites around Antalya. Picturesque valleys, waterfalls, lakes and canyons await keen explorers visiting the Taurus Mountains. If you find yourself following the routes around Mount Chimera, be sure to keep an eye open for the mysterious Yanatash, dozens of small fires which burn constantly from vents in the rocks on the side of the mountain. Combine culture and cardio with a visit to the ancient city of Termessos. This mountaintop city sits 1,000 metres above sea level and has remained virtually untouched for millennia. The challenging climb to the city that Alexander the Great once referred to as the Eagle's Nest rewards visitors not only with remarkable views over the Pamphylia region, but also the sense that you've somehow hiked back in time. Antalya is famed for antiquity, from the ancient theatre at Aspendos, where gladiators once fought, to Kekova's sunken city, still visible under crystalline waters, the dramatic temple of Athena and Apollo at Side, or Myra's rock-cut tombs dating back to the 4th century BC. These must-see sites are beautifully preserved and breathtaking to experience.
For something a little more leisurely and rich in heritage, then take a hike through the old town of Antalya, beginning here at Hadrian's Gate, built in honour of the Roman Emperor in AD 130.
The ruins of Hadrian's Gate on Ataturk Boulevard date back to 130 AD and retain much of their delicate floral motif friezes and cornices. In Kalaiche, Antalya's historic city centre explores centuries of stories in the Tekeli Mehmet Pasha Cami. The Antalya Museum, one of Turkey's largest, hosts exhibits from the Paleolithic age to Ottoman times and is a must-visit for those interested in the rich archaeological history of this region. And at the bottom of the city's Old Town slope is the restored ancient harbour, now a marina for yachts and tour boats. The area makes for a lively afternoon stroll with bustling restaurants and cafes at every turn. Have a relaxed lunch before hopping on a gulet, a traditional wooden sailing boat, for a sun-drenched excursion out to the Gulf of Antalya.
Time now to answer your questions about travel to this stretch of the Turkish coast. The first one is very straightforward. What's the best time to be in Antalya? Well, in the depths of winter, you'll be glad you're here. It's 13 degrees closer to the equator than the southernmost part of the UK. I really love the springtime here. April into May is just gorgeous. You've got warm days, cool evenings, and everything is fresh. But I also adore September and October, partly because the Mediterranean is at its warmest, having been cooking nicely all summer. Next question. I want to travel around the region. Do I have to hire a car? I'm glad to say you don't, and that's a good thing, I reckon, because driving in Turkey can, well, let's face it, be something of a challenge, and I would much rather be in good professional hands. Antalya actually has pretty good public transport, including a couple of excellent tramways, which are a really good and environmentally friendly way to travel. To go slightly further from the city centre, well, the wonderful Turkish dolmuş is the way to go. That, of course, is a minibus stuffed, as they say, to the maximum number of passengers. But it's a fun and friendly way to travel. And for getting any further, well, there are superb long-distance coach services here in Turkey, and they generally operate from the Otogar, the bus station, which is a few kilometres out of town, but very easy, very relaxed, very good value. Final question. Would you recommend Antalya as a city break destination? Yes, I certainly would, but not as a standalone flying nearly 2,000 miles city break. Much better to plan a bigger holiday in this part of the Turkish coast and to build in a proper 48 hours in Antalya as an important element of that. The more you do on your holiday, the less the proportionate impact on the planet and the better time you are going to be having. Thanks very much indeed for all your excellent questions. Please keep them coming. That's it for this episode of Travel Smart from independent.co.uk/TV. Be sure to check in for the next episode, which you can watch on site on the Independent's mobile app or on your smart TV. Be sure to check independent.co.uk/travel for the latest travel news, reviews and advice. You can also listen to my daily travel podcast.